Hi, I'm Peter Capaldi. I play the Doctor, and you're watching EMS Productions.
Hello everybody and welcome along to today's video where once again I've got a very special guest. Joining me, it's George. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thanks. If you might know me, I'm DrWhoAndMaster892. Check my channel out. If you like my content, subscribe, and also if you're new to this channel, subscribe to your channel as well.
Yes, exactly. You've got to subscribe to both of us now. That is the point.
Before you guys watch the video, press that like button.
Yes, that is very important. More important than anything I could say. Hit like. Right then, so in today's video we're going to be kind of talking about what needs to happen for Series 11 to be a success. What things need to change from previous series, and just what's important to make what is a very important series in Series 11 to make it a success.
Especially after last series, viewers are going down. They need to make it a big boost to get where they used to be, and I think they can. I have high hopes for it.
Yeah, I've got some optimism as well. I mean, it is hitting a low point at the moment, so certainly Series 11 needs to be successful. But what are the key things that are going to do it? Number one is probably the writing. I mean, George, what's your thoughts on writing in Doctor Who at the moment?
I absolutely love Doctor Who. Yeah, they have some brilliant ones like Word of Nothing Time and The Doctor Falls, but there's also ones that not that good. But with the series, as I watched the video called The Day That Doctor Who Died, I still don't believe it. They did talk about the problem that Doctor Who has is the writing. It's like the characters, the story, rushed, complicating stuff as we go along. The writing needs a bit of a better... Don't make it too complicated. What would you say to a massive improvement?
I think certainly sort of consistency in writing is definitely something important. I mean, you look at a series like Series 8, where, for example, the 12th Doctor was written very inconsistently across the episodes. You went from him being really dark and almost evil in episodes like Listen, and then in Robot and Sherwood he's suddenly a sort of comedy character. So just bringing that consistency in is very important.
If you compare that to other Doctors and other eras, it's like, no, it's like that. It's that scene where they're all tied up in chamber and they just have an argument, and it's just... After he's a genius, he's smart. Why would he be doing this? I mean, Chris has bad episodes like 42. If you're a big fan of it, I know my friend called Adam, gave it a 10 out of 10. I was shocked. I think I'm not a big fan of it. I like Power 3 except for the ending, but also using a sonic screwdriver is what I like. It's like my friend said on my series, they're like, oh no, we're all gonna die. There's no plan. Oh wait, I got my sonic screwdriver. Bang, end of the episode. I mean, the sonic screwdriver is good, but maybe put less of that and use more of his mind, not just complicated stuff like that. What if he doesn't have a sonic screwdriver? What would he do in that situation? I want to see that.
Yeah, definitely the sonic screwdriver needs to stop being sort of a magic wand that can just solve any plot issues that they've got to get out of or anything like that. That's definitely something to avoid. It can work, but generally it doesn't.
He did that sort in Power 3, but I do enjoy. It was like calm, it was enjoyable, and that's what I like. But then it was like this ending, and also in Power 3, I've got to talk about what those creatures that have weird mouths in Power 3. You might put a picture up so people who doesn't know. What were they actually doing this whole episode? Like, there's no explain. Why were they taking people? And that sort of writing, we sort of do want to know that. I mean, if you put that out of the episode, it doesn't make a big deal. So when you write something, at least make it explain for what everything's going on, like those creatures. You probably comment what you think as well.
Well, I think what might help that issue is probably the slightly longer running time of each episode, because it's going to be more 50 to 55 minute episodes, which just gives that little bit of extra time to help build the plot and help the stories breathe a bit, which clearly has been an issue in the past and is why sometimes things like that get unexplained, that we think of with the Power of 3 episodes like that. So I think that's an important point and could really make the difference. But certainly it's going to be important to get off to a good start with the series and make sure those first 2 or 3 episodes are really strong stories, because most likely there is going to be a big spike in viewing figures with the new Doctor, Jodie, coming in. It's a woman. Everyone wants to see what's going to happen there. So I feel that Chris needs to nail... He's probably going to write the first 2 to 3 episodes, make sure he absolutely nails them, to keep that audience there, and then suddenly the show really could gain popularity again.
Also, that's a good point, but I think what I'm going to say now will sort of go into our second point, and that's character development. Like how, okay, if you did you? Okay, well, I know I said this earlier, but did you watch the video about the day that Doctor Who died?
I haven't seen it personally. I remember watching about 3 minutes.
It went
of it,
into ways like how the Doctor, like, you know, example, the scene where the ninth Doctor in Rose, that Jackie said, there's a weird person in my room. If it goes into detail, he was actually being polite and all that and stuff. And then we get the Doctor in Robert Sherwood, and we sort of went into that. The Doctor needs a bit of development, and the characters as well. Like in Moffat's era, in the scene where the Doctor ruins Rory's stag do, he's just been a right idiot to him. It's like, oh yeah, I kissed you, Kel. On his stag do, embarrassing them. How would you feel in that situation? How would you think of the Doctor then and back in Russell's era?
It's an interesting one. I mean, in my opinion, I'd say at least the 10th Doctor certainly is written as a slightly more human character than maybe the 11th and 12th Doctors are. I feel like Moffat gave that a more alien element to the Doctor, doing slightly more weird things and unusual things. Sometimes they didn't work, they didn't fit, and it fit really into the situation, so it didn't look like very good writing, for example. But whereas with the Tennant era, at least, it does feel like the Doctor was almost too much of a human. At times to really be the Doctor. Obviously with the whole love story with Rose and everything like that as well, kind of gave that human element, which was popular, certainly. It was appealed to a wider audience, I think, having that. So maybe if they're focusing more on gaining an audience back, it would be worth looking at the Tennant era and what worked, because there's no doubt in that the Moffat era has seen the viewing figures decline. And so I think that's an important point. Another point with that would probably be families, because we had basically none of that in the Stephen Moffat era, whereas every character, every companion...
Okay. Well, actually, no, I gotta disagree. We did see a bit of family. The Ponds and Rory's dad, Bill's foster mum. So yeah, we did see bits of Clara. So I can't say, I have to disagree, but we've seen more of that in the Moffat Russell's era.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think the point with it is that they're more developed characters in the Russell era. They're more involved in stories, and it really feels like you're sort of feeling like with Jackie when Rose leaves. You really feel what she's feeling, that she's lost her daughter. Where has she gone away? And all this kind of thing. So I just feel they were much more well developed and better characters. Yes, although they were in the Moffat era, it always felt like they were more of a sort of side character and not really important compared to Russell's era, where it was all about the companion and her family. Yeah,
and you actually feel to their characters, the audience, and that sort of, and you want to be in it, like imagine yourself in it. That sort of it, not, and that's quite good. I'm trying to find a post with the new companion names. I can't find. I'm on the Doctor Instagram.
Oh, it's do you mean the actor and actresses names, or the actual characters?
Name. Oh, I found it.
It's Ryan, isn't it? It was one of them, I think.
So we're talking about the characters. We have like Jasmine, Ryan, and is that Graham?
Yeah, I think yes. It's Yasmin, Ryan, and Graham.
And I want to see how those three go well with the Doctor. But when people have been talking about how all their performances, obviously they can improve. But what would you say in a character development is good about them? If you have to feel, what do you think? Do we see their family life? Are they all related to each other?
It's an interesting one as to how their characters are going to be linked, because you would imagine the two younger ones of Ryan and Yasmin are probably going to, like, I don't know, be friends or something already, or maybe they'll be plucked out of their lives and end up meeting each other. But so that feels a slightly easier link. But certainly with Graham, played by Bradley Walsh, you really don't know how he's going to get involved. Is he like the father of one of them? Or an uncle or something like that? I don't know. Or is he just going to be another completely random character that gets involved? I don't know.
Near the time, but I do not. Maybe I say this in a bit, but in like when we see trailers and that, we kind of will know even more. At this stage, I can't say into words, to be honest, because I don't even know how they're going to be and that. But they've got to be different than not the usual, I guess. Something original. If you want to make the show different, but Series 10 did, and I quite liked Bill. love Bill. She's like my third favourite companion, that far. Moffat's, in my opinion, my favourite Moffat companion. But with these, it's his first. Chris is first, so he maybe write them very well. If not, then we won't like... They've got to be likeable. If they have another series, they've got to be likeable, not like Danny Pink did. I quite like Danny, but people are not... Would you say Danny Pink was a likeable character?
He was a character at odds with the Doctor, which made it at times difficult to like. I know I've made this comment before in a previous video, and somebody kind of told me off a bit, shall we say, and said I should be seeing it from Danny's point of view, that the Doctor's just trying to sort of get involved and get in the way of Clara and Danny, and therefore Danny is right to be all angry with the Doctor. But that's my opinion, at least, is that you naturally kind of want the Doctor to be right and kind of side with the Doctor. So when suddenly Danny's certainly in The Caretaker, for example, lots of kind of not very pleased with the Doctor and sort of making all those remarks about him being a general, this kind of thing, instantly made him less likeable if you're on the Doctor's side from that point. And I think it was kind of a double whammy in Series 8 when you had, at least early on, a maybe less likeable Doctor. In Peter Capaldi, certainly in the first few episodes, he was certainly a lot less easy to like than Matt Smith maybe straight away. Then combine that with having Danny Pink as well, ended up being not a great move for the show, maybe.
I'm just going to say this quick. Something it's called leaks. Like John Sims. Imagine yourself. We didn't know that from The Mirror. I think was it in The Mirror or was it in The Sun? I don't know which one it was.
I think it was The Sun. It was about February, I think, was it, or early March this year? I think it was The Sun. I
wish I might actually be. It's quite going to be a challenge for me, but I'm going to try my best not to see any article or video. That's going to be quite impossible. That is going to be. I have to be offline for like 6 months.
But I'd say 9 months.
9 months off the internet. So I can actually be I might be one of the percentage who people gonna be so surprised.
I mean, it'll be impressive if you manage it, I'll say that much.
Yes, I might just survive for like a week. But let's talk about viewing figures. Or views.
Viewing figures, there's a depressing topic. They're going down pretty drastically.
Quite nice. It's not, okay, maybe not exactly the viewing figures, but it's views on... I went on holiday, so I didn't know much was going on. But I found out, I knew on the news it was released the 13th Doctor, so I couldn't do a reaction, and I don't think I would actually do a reaction, but I found Wi-Fi, so I went onto the Doctor YouTube channel, and it just got straight off 1 million views. I'll probably be the only one who actually cares about it, but normally Doctor Who, as I see, forget about the 8th Doctor, the Time War audio, they not really got big views, like 30,000, like in a week, and the new one's got like 100 views in like 4 days. So this in like 2 days, straight off 1 million. That is quite impressive to the actual Doctor Who. So what do you think?
I think that figures like that are optimistic and positive for the show. I would say that probably no matter what, because it's a new Doctor announcement, it was likely to get a massive amount of views compared to any other video, simply because it's going to be shared on social media so much more than anything else to do with Doctor Who, because it is the biggest thing that can happen in the show, is the reveal of a new Doctor. So it doesn't surprise me massively to see it hit 1 million views in a couple of days. I think now it's about 3 million views or so, which is very impressive, and is good to see, and hopefully will lead to some better viewing figures. I'm absolutely sure that we'll see much higher viewing figures for at least episode 1.
Talking about that video, I'm proud that they chose a 13th Doctor, because it's changed, and that Doctor Who is changed itself, because imagine back in William Hartnell's era when we found out the regeneration stuff happened. I bet this was exactly the same, maybe a bit more better. But to be honest, I know someone who's doing a fan film, Kayla, who is doing a fan film, and she wants to be the Doctor. So I was like, and that was before that, so I was like getting used to this feel. And also I did this thing from English speech, and I got a merit. So I did talk about why Doctor Who might be getting axed, and there was a question, so what do you think about the 13th, not the 13th, what do you think of a female Doctor? And I think I would only care if they get a good actress. I'm not talking about if it's a bad thing to have a woman Doctor. I didn't say that. I just said if you need a good actress to play the role. So and I think Jodie, I've not seen anything she's in, but I heard very good reviews of her. So yeah, I'm quite excited for her. So I think she's one thing that's going to make viewers get more viewers coming up, because people will be like interested, but like, yes, we want to see this. So it's new, and if they add more newer stuff to it and make it a massive thing like back in 2005, like that went huge, like 7-8 million.
Yeah, it was about, I think on the average for the series was about 8 million, so it was getting good 7, 8, 9 million a week, which was just crazy compared to now.
Doctor Who needs to get back to that level and maybe just do a bit more marketing at a lot of places, more marketing than Series 10 did quite a bit, but I think a bit more can improve it.
Yeah, and I think the key point with Series 10 was that it was still the same, which is why the viewing figures did drop slightly more compared to Series 9. The average over the series, I think, was down about 500,000 viewers compared to Series 9. So I think even with better promotion, just simply because it was still the same Doctor, it was still the same production team doing it, it was still pretty much the same. It was never likely to gain a huge amount.
Series 11, I think they have a new director. That practically everything's new. Even I think Murray Gold's not even going to be in Series 11.
Most likely, yeah, that's the rumour doing the rounds. Nobody knows for sure who will replace him, but certainly it's looking very likely it won't be Murray Gold, which I don't know. I'm a bit disappointed about because I do like him, but I think it's also time to have something fresh.
It's time for a new era of Doctor Who, and that's quite good because to succeed is always about change. And if they, I mean, to be honest, they are going to have a Dalek story. I mean, for my opinion, I always feel like they should have like 3 or 4, maybe 3 seasons after Series 9, just have a cameos of it. But obviously, it's Chris's first series, so obviously, I mean, I'm not going to say it's 100%, but it's likely that there's going to be a Dalek story. But after Series 11, if he thinks maybe another few more series, then they'll just put cameos. That would be a much. But make it probably new monsters, new characters, new stories. Obviously, there's going to be some similarities to other scenes, but at least for the first series, he has to be like, maybe not. I think because it's a one Doctor and the views are going a bit down, he might play it safe, or maybe just take a risk.
I would argue he's already taken a risk by casting a female Doctor, so I think he's at the risky stage, and no matter what he does, it's a risk now, simply because a female Doctor is a risk. And
the BBC agreed with it, so they have high hopes for it, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, from sort of personal experience, obviously I work at the BBC, so I see inside the BBC and everything. And it is amazing how much Doctor Who iconography there still is throughout the buildings that I go to. I've been to various different ones, and there's still every other wall you look at, it's got a picture of a TARDIS or a picture of Peter Capaldi or a picture of a Doctor Who logo or something like that. It is still very much a part of the BBC, and definitely I think something they're looking to keep going and keep investing in.
So yeah, I have hopes. I think Series 11 will do successful, but I can't just say that. We need more information, but I'm still going to try my challenge.
It's gonna fail. Surely it's gonna fail.
Yes, it will. But I'm probably gonna watch the trailer. I'm definitely gonna watch the trailer. But if I'm gonna do this well, if you comment below, a year later or something, try your best to the highest I think you can get. Beat 2 months. Beat a week, and we give you a like.
I'll give you a prize of some description that hasn't been revealed as of yet.
Yeah.
So I think story arcs has certainly been a very important part of the show over the last, pretty much since the show's come back. There's always been something trying to link each episode of the series and sort of having an ongoing plot through the series. And it's something that I think for Stephen, he's probably got worse than since Series 5. I still feel Series 5 was his strongest arc with the whole crack in time and everything. It was very well crafted and well sort of maintained throughout the series, bringing to a great conclusion, explaining it. Whereas in more recent arcs, it just either hasn't been a very good idea to start with, or the resolution has been terrible, or there just hasn't been much of an arc at all. I mean, Series 10, the arc, it was a funny one. There was obviously the arc with the vaults for the first half of the series, and then the sort of more character arc about Missy becoming good, which, obviously with the vault, you knew it was going to be Missy, so that kind of ruined the mystery there, and Stephen basically said, oh yeah, it was obviously Missy, we were never trying to make it a surprise, so what was the point? And then with Missy, it was a nice idea, but I don't feel like it really drove the plot that far through those last few episodes. So I think it's important for Chris to kind of hit the ground running with a good arc, if that's what he's looking to do with the show, and give it that more serialised nature to it, having maybe even stronger links for the whole show, for a whole series, rather than more individual episodes, certainly as it's the way that kind of a lot of TV is going generally now. having much more serialized stories, lots more linking plots throughout a series than just lots of individual episodes. But what do you think about this, George?
Series 11 it's his first series, so obviously he's going to take a risk. It will be good. We need something that's very interesting. Like, I say the best ones were the Harrow Saxon ones, because that was very developed. What do you think about the Saxon story arc?
The Saxon arc, it was better than the first two, because it was more than just a word appearing every now and then. There was some sort of building up around it and things leading through the series, with all the sort of secret officials and stuff infiltrating Martha's mum and everything.
Also, I heard it was in series 2 as well, because I watched the Who Addicts video, and I watched Love and Monsters. But I'm gonna get hate for this. I quite enjoyed it. Okay, I'm dying. Everyone's gonna be like, George, why? I have no respect.
I think we'll need another video for that. That'll take up a whole video, won't it?
Yes, the Zorbeloff. That was the worst thing. But he was holding that newspaper and it said Saxon. It was in series 2 as well, so it was quite good. We need like story arcs that's very developed, very good, interesting. Like the Crack, that was quite good. I mean, the ones that we have now is just, I think maybe it's just characters, to be honest. Maybe because the Impossible Girl, that no one really cares. But actually, I now agree, I'm not a big fan of that. I like Clara in series 8 and a bit annoying, but 7, ugh. But yeah, and Missy, that was a character story arc, I think. Even series 8 as well. Series 9, Hybrid, that tried and but failed. But yeah, I say maybe not characters as a story arc, because after we saw the Impossible Girl. But yeah, you can comment all the stuff we talked about. You can comment right now what you think, but what do you think?
I would definitely agree that character arcs is something that Moffat's done a lot more of, and he's focused more on the character than the plot.
And that's why I think, and also the conclusion. I think the better conclusions were in Russell's. I think there's no, maybe series 10. Even if I didn't like the arc, it did good. I don't like the Big Bang. I like Pandora Opens. That was good, but Big Bang, I just don't like how they conclude series. Okay, series 6. If people think, George Marshall, you like Love and Monsters, I don't like Word of River Song, so yeah, maybe I get a bit more respect in the comment. Series at 7, I like, not a big fan of the story, but now, also again, sorry, let's just talk about that, because I'm getting distracted about all 4 episodes that I might like.
So I think, to sum it up, for story arcs, we just need to have something strong through the series, whether it's focused on a character or not. I mean, naturally there's going to be character development, which is a little bit different to a character arc when it's focused on who is this mysterious woman that Moffat's done for about 4 of his series, because that's so original, obviously. But with Jodie's Doctor, for example, she needs to be well developed through the series, but she doesn't necessarily need to be involved with the arc of the series at all.
Likeable. I actually feel that Dr. Phil was for that character, because obviously it's the first series, it's going to a low point. Yeah, you say he's already took a risk, but maybe don't really make. They gave her that role, so there's a lot of people who can be really good. So knowing she got that role, that tells us she's good. Well, I mean, maybe Chris doesn't know, or maybe she's not good. But I've not seen any of her performance. So have you seen?
I've seen her in Broadchurch, which...
Is she good?
Check out Broadchurch. It is a phenomenal series. She's absolutely brilliant. The only thing I will say about it is it's probably not a great example of how she'll play the Doctor, because she doesn't play a character that's at all doctorly. She's a mum who's lost her child. So it's a lot about sorrow and loss and everything. She plays it amazingly, but it isn't a very good example of
that. Probably tells us she cannot... There's probably... I know this is Doctor, but... At least now we know there's going to be a good... Maybe there's going to be... She's good at crying and sad. Imagine Graham dies or something, or Lisa Tyler. She's going to be gutted. We actually feel that. So, yeah, she's... But I want to see her maybe at different... maybe one scene about... Like David Tennant, he didn't really have much dark scenes. Maybe The Water Mars, definitely. There might be... I want to see a moment, at least one episode or a scene with her dark... in her. At least maybe not in the first series.
Yeah, the Daleks will probably be back. I would prefer it if they're not the finale villain again, because they've been the finale villain way too many times. It would be nice to actually have a new
Series 1,
villain.
Series 2. Not even in Series 3, but Series 3 was the worst in Russell's. Series 4, yes. Sort of, yes, Series 5, but not like the big one. No, not in 6. Okay, they were in the finale, but not a story. Series 7, no. Series 8, no. Series 9. Actually, I won't say there wasn't in too much now saying that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the point is that that it'd be nice to have a new villain as the villain in the finale. Because that hasn't happened other than Series 6 ever.
The big new monster from New Who was the Weeping Angels. We need something very, very monster like very enemy, because they all go back to the old and classic. Why don't you just make new ones that looks like, oh my god, they're actually this evil when they're coming back? Like the Weeping Angels, they went so good and they're not that risk, and we need new ones, new monsters, something that's gonna return and very interesting. You know what I mean?
Definitely. We just need some. That's where I want just new, fresh ideas for the series. New monsters, new ideas, new concepts, just to freshen everything up. Bring a new pool of villains and aliens to the Doctor Who universe, which we haven't had much of.
Also, explore the universe more. Show more planets, not just start on Earth, more on Earth. Maybe just go on different. Explore the universe. I think Series 10, in Moffat's era, it's mainly focused on Earth, and we have a few ones like spaceships, all the rings. I could say that. Yeah, that's that video. Guys, go. Can I just advertise my new video? But just go if you want to know what my Doctor Who knowledge. It's coming up next week. But as I want to say, explore the universe more. What do you think? Because I'm going to talk about it's what I thought in Star Wars. It's sort of. I know this is not Doctor Who related, but Star Wars sort of in the originals, like the first one. If you ignore the prequels. Like, there's so much, and it gets even bigger and bigger and bigger. And if the new Doctor Who universe just show the universe a bit more, and maybe not just focus on Gallifrey, Skaro, Earth, show new ones that can actually be very important, not just one appearance. Make it bigger so we can. So you know what I mean. I keep saying that to a lot of people. Just
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. I mean, you look at Classic Who, for example, we had almost every other week, apart from the Pertwee era, almost every week you were going to a new planet to meet some new villains. And you had some returning planets like Peladon back in the Pertwee era, for example, where you did go back there a couple of times. So it'd be just nice to bring a new alien race that we can bring back a few times, go to lots of new planets, pick a new planet every week, and then maybe have some sort of story linking everything at the end of it or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, definitely take it away from Earth a bit more, and just focus on exploring the universe, because the Doctor Who universe has limitless potential.
This might not happen, but maybe put it at least an episode on a character's point of view, and then see and make it so maybe not go to like usual, make it new. Like I want to feel like we are the companions, like the new ones, because they never did this before. They never went through time. Oh, well, I don't know. There might be time agents. We don't know that, but the obvious choice, they're going to be like Londoners. Like, all right. But I want to see Graham, because he looks like the more adult one. I want to see them two develop, and I just want to see that. But seeing their point of view, seeing new stuff, and if the thing that would maybe do better, if we see new stuff as well, so we feel that as well. That's good.
Yeah, definitely. I think just refreshing the show in every aspect is probably the most important thing for Series 11. Is to make it feel new in every possible way they can do it. Still keep it Doctor Who, keep it the same show, but make it as different as you possibly can to appeal to as much of a wider audience as possible, because there's no doubt these last couple of series have gone too much into the sort of fan fiction of the show almost, and the history of the show, which has probably pushed away some of the sort of newer fans who just don't really know what's going on when there's blooming clips from Genesis of the Daleks and that kind of thing for a whole plot of an episode.
And also new locations, like Cardiff. I did go to Cardiff, but there's quite a lot more Cardiff locations that they can go. Obviously, we're going to see something we already know, but more what I just said, that we need. But all the stuff we're saying, this is what we want, but it's looking like it might not happen, but it's looking like he wants to fresh everything up. I think he said he wants to fresh everything up, and I think that's the best way to make Series 11 successful. But, I mean, in the comments, if you have a different idea, we'll probably read your comments. We will read your comments.
I will, definitely.
Definitely you, because and not on always on your channel.
Yes, but I'll get a notification every time you comment. So post your comment and I will see it.
But yeah, it's very. I have hopes for Series 11. I think it's going to be new, definitely. I mean, I think the first big change is the Doctor. So knowing there's going to be more changes. Change can be good and it can be bad. It's been fun. I quite enjoyed myself being on this channel.
Yes, thank you very much for coming on. Greatly appreciate it. Good to have someone else's opinion on what's going on in Doctor Who at the moment and what's hopefully going to be happening next year. So thank you very much for coming on.
Yes, and also to anyone who, I think you're going to do this more with other people, but if you want to be in someone else's video, his video, comment below and he tell you some information. And also go check my channel because there's going to be new stuff coming out. Finally, I am back on YouTube. So yeah, thanks for having me. Thank you, and thanks for not dissing me or loving monsters.
That's all right. That's all right.
I know there's going to be
I'll forgive you that.
I know there's going to be a comment there, but whatever. Enjoy yourself and carry on being a Doctor Who fan. Team Nardole.
Boom. Big up Team Nardole. So there we go. With that, thank you very much for watching this video, guys, and goodbye.